take us through what's on the dailies today. Good morning, Bimbo. What's happening at your end?
Yes, Kemi. Yes, it's time to take a look at the headlines across the newspapers in the country this morning. And we are starting off with the story on the front page of the Vanguard this morning. Blackout as workers shut down national grid. Blackout as workers shut down national grid. Striking workers lay siege to power ministry. Ministers locked out. Labour ministers wait in. Strike suspended for 2 weeks. Why we can't generate 5,000 megawatts of power? That was a statement made by the federal government, and that's the main story the Vanguard newspaper is reporting this morning. Quickly, let's move on to the Guardian newspaper, and on the front page of the Guardian newspaper we have a similar story. Nationwide blackout, 3 billion naira lost to TCN strike as grid crashes. Nationwide blackout, 3 billion naira lost to TCN strike as grid crashes. Electricity workers suspend industrial action. Discos issue notices on darkness, urge communities to safeguard installations. Why we can't generate 5,000 megawatts of power? That was a statement made by the minister, and that's the main story we have on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. And I also have the Nigerian Tribune newspaper here this morning. On the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, we have this story. Governors blast Malami over $418 million Parry Club refund. His claims fraudulent, self-serving, will not stand, they insist. That's the main story on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. And then we also have another story, security threats. Government closes schools, students stranded, parents jittery in Jigawa. That's another story you can find on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Quickly, of course, let's get the views of Nigerians here. I'm sure they are itching to talk to me already. Good morning. Let me start with you. Yes, which of these headlines would you like to react to this morning?
It's about this nationwide blackouts. Yeah. Well, in as much as we have the blackouts, I don't think that it makes any big difference because we have been experiencing blackouts even before now. So I owe this to the poor leadership that we have in the country. Over decades, Nigeria has gotten their independence. Up till now, we are still facing the problem of blackouts. I think it is a shame to this country and its leaders for their failure to fix the power issue of this country.
Thank you. Let's quickly move on to another person. Good morning. Yes, let's get your view quickly on the stories making headlines on the front page of the papers this morning.
Okay, what are the stories?
Yeah, we have the story on the nationwide blackouts. We have other stories as well. Which of these stories have you read?
The blackout. You know, a nation where there's no light, that the nation is in darkness, is a total calamity. Light, even from the perspective of the biblical views, let there be light, and there was light. That is creation. Then when you deliberately put the nation into darkness, that is a total calamity. Nothing will work. Light is very important and it's very crucial to any economic development. Look at the workers who use light to earn their livings. They will just sit at home, nothing to do. Even they cannot even buy petrol to fuel their generators. It's another calamity. Look at kerosene, for instance. It's a source of power. The masses cannot get it. Even the, what do they call it? Gas, that they said is cheaper. Is it cheap anymore? No. So the government is adamant on the demands of the masses. The issue is there. It is the issue of money, but billions are being spent on other unnecessary issues.
All right, thank you. Let's take
some
other person. Okay, good morning.
Thank you, my sister.
Stories that you react
About issue of this light, I want to contribute more.
Okay.
Now, look at it now. It said Nigeria, Benin, and the Togo, they own Nigeria. assuming they collect this money to generate more on this issue of this light, there was no darkness in this nation. My own suggestion, number one, let each region to be generate their own light. Two, and all this money that they say they owe, let them collect that money. Third, or let Nigeria government to ban generator in this country. I think if they ban generator, everybody will sit tight and there will be the lights. Because what I'm seeing in this country is a calamity, according to what my brother said. Because it's a pity. This is a country that over 60 years independent, are still suffering about the issue of the light. It's a painful for this country.
Thank you. Let's take someone else. Do you have a different opinion? Have you seen the headlines?
Yeah, I've seen the headlines this morning. Malami blast over 418 million Paris Club refund. When you borrow, you need to pay back. And they said his claims are fraudulent. Then why not investigate it? Not just blasting him, we investigate it, have him to step aside so there'll be a transparent investigation. So when you go through the papers they made down, then you see if his claims are fraudulent or genuine. And as per the blackout, I don't believe downing tools is going to be the solution to the problems. Because in this country, has downing tools ever solved any problems? As I've been on strike over 5 to get into 6 months now, has that solved any problems? But the way out is for those in the corridors of our powers to look into this issue properly. They happen to be our elected personnel. They are not there of their own means. So they really need to dance to the tunes of the public. Because one thing is that if we don't vote for them, they can't be there. No matter what they think they have, no matter what they think they have. So thank you very much. That's what I can say.
Thank you. I'd like to take one last person. Good morning. Have you seen the stories?
You know, this issue of lights, I'm seeing Nigeria, this blackout as end time of Nigeria and destruction to Nigeria living. See, now they say Niger Republic and Benin Republic and Togo owe Nigeria 5.8 billion naira. So why we in Nigeria who have electricity, we are not enjoying it? So federal government should work hard and end the strike of this NEPA so that we in Nigeria will enjoy our light. Both, since yesterday, both production and marketing, everything collapsed. Even to see where buy is a problem because there's no light. Without light, free station cannot operate. So even though, in fact, we suffer a lot from mosquito bite because there's no light. And in fact, I can see it as a calamity too because you never see it before in any country. In a living, we need light. Federal government should work hard. In other words, this Buhari to disobey UN order to release Nnamdi Kanu. This Buhari don't want to work for Nigeria. He should do work fast and release their guys so that Nigeria will not sanction. We are not living well again.
Thank you. Yeah? And then you've heard it. Those were reactions from the people here at the newspaper stand this morning. And that's it from the newspaper stand this morning. It's back to you now, Kemi.
Thanks a lot, Abimbola. Indeed, so many issues to contend with. The Governors Forum and their anger at the AGF. Of course, Abubakar Malami, the back and forth, and we wait to see how the court will finally determine the liability or otherwise of the governors to the consultants.
Yes, and I also was interested in the guy who was saying that there had to be light, and he quoted the Bible that said, let there be light. And indeed, as I was saying offline, off air, that, for us to have light, you need human beings. Yeah, of course. Human beings are the ones that will bring the light. And I remember the poem by Alexander Pope, who said the whole world was wrapped in darkness, and God said, let there be Newton, and there was light. So we need human beings to bring this light. We cannot just come like that.
In the first place, we are the light. Human beings are even the light.
Jesus says so. So you are the light of the world.
Exactly. And in the 21st century, in 2022, we're still talking about light issues and all of that.
Yes.
Recall that in 1960, and even in the 64 elections, and in the 79 elections, 83 elections, these were all campaign promises that were used over the decades. Oh, I will provide light. Till now, we're still talking
So we
about
need the
issues.
new thing that will give us light.
It's still a campaign. It's still going to be on the front burner. And of course, we can talk about this. But earlier on, we had the interview with Adiola Yusuf, trying to quantify. We may never indeed know the losses of that one day that all the lights were shut out. Of course, the health sector and even our public hospitals, we see how they always grow. Sometimes a crucial operation is underway, and then the issue of no lights, no fuel in the generator. So we cannot, understate or overstate the essential uses that of lights
and then
in Nigeria.
the Plato guy also are trying to defend the fact that there are no factions, but there are so many questions to really answer.
Exactly.
The executive is believed to have more of young people than
Hussaini people.
and the Hussaini people are still in court, one way or the other against the young people. So we'll get somebody from the Hussaini side to come and
absolutely
tell
to balance it.
As much as we know in politics, where when there are crises, they will always say, no,
everything is okay.
Everything is okay. We know that political statement. So we'll get to hear from all sides.
Yes.
And let's understand what the issues are. Because ours is to draw their attention to the issues so they can resolve. Because we're trying to see how we can make contribution for us to have a democracy that works.
All right. Interestingly, of course, the courts may also have to make a decisive, or final decision on the matter in Plateau State.